Mistakes can lead to failures, but not all failures are caused by mistakes, right? And especially the good kind, the intelligent failures. A failure in new territory, which is essentially when you've run an experiment that did not produce the result you had hoped and had reason to believe might work. That's a failure. But there was no mistake involved, right? It was a legitimate, thoughtful experiment. It might have worked. Nobody could have known in advance that it wouldn't work, or maybe someone, but that for practical purposes, you couldn't know in advance. So it's not a mistake. So a mistake implies the existence of a recipe to follow. And a failure is a larger territory that encompasses, this whole sort of landscape of disappointments, right? Smaller and larger, preventable and not, intelligent and not.
We hear a lot about failure, particularly in innovative companies, software, entrepreneurs. Fail forward, fail fast. I'll never invest in an entrepreneur who hasn't failed. What are your thoughts on that, knowing this research that you've conducted?
Yeah. So I'm a fan, and it's incomplete. But so it needs just a little bit more precision, in my view, to be helpful, because it applies this idea of fail fast, fail often, or let's only invest in the entrepreneur who's already failed. Applies so long as we're talking about intelligent failures. It's so long as we're talking about the failures in new territory that literally could not have been, that gain us knowledge that could not have been gained any other way. That's valuable. We should push for more of it, because our goal is to stay ahead of the competition, to be on the leading edge of what's possible, whether with a new tech company or a scientific discovery or an invention, you name it, right? It applies to the domain I call novel, right? But if you say it and it just sort of sounds like we're supposed to think this is valid for everything, people instinctively know that's just not true. They're hearing that message, but they're hearing it as a mixed message, because in their heart, in their head, they know, but wait a minute, if I just mess up this thing over here, this known thing over here, I'm going to get in trouble. And maybe sometimes rightly so, right? If you sort of mail it in on something that could have been done with precision and care, we're not going to throw a party for you on that one. And so the sort of happy talk about failure falls short only in not being precise enough.